Amazing friends. Another beautiful day. Loving it. Mother Earth is just here to shower us with love unconditionally, asking nothing in return but to just respect it. So I was on a call last night with somebody who just purchased my book, Waking Up in the Dream, and they were asking for me to explain where I talk about every judgment is about us and our unhealed energies. And this, it's so simple when you get it, but we're taught to judge. It's the original thing of separation. And so what ends up happening is we end up taking on a belief system. And most of those beliefs were given to us. Grandparents, parents, school system, religion if you grew up in that like I did. And what happens is the ego then gets triggered and wants to defend anything that comes in that goes against our current belief system. So it's a perfect program and a perfect trap to keep us in resistance to what we see in the external world all the time. It's one of the most deceptive programs, and our job, or job, that's a heavy word, huh? Our invitation as sovereign divine beings who came to serve and share our light on this awakening journey is to track those low vibrational frequencies, which are judgments, triggers, unworthiness, less than low vibrational thoughts. So in order to attract new synchronicities and what I would call miracles, but they're not really miracles because they're always available. A miracle is just a word, basically something that our mind thought wasn't really possible until it happened. But that's an illusion, because every single thing that you can think of is possible. It's not only possible, it's already existing on some dimensional timeline just through us thinking about it. So, to remain an open channel to attract all this stuff requires us to not be in resistance. And all judgments are resistance. All judgments reflect back to us frequencies and energies that we're holding that we still haven't cleared. And so the purpose of that chapter around judgments was, many of you heard me share this before, I was a judgeaholic. I mean, so many people are. And I thought that if I pointed out everything in the external world that was wrong, that would somehow shine more light on it and make it stop. But again, what I finally realized when I began working with my mentor in studying actual frequencies and energies that I was holding is that every trigger, every thought, every emotion, and every word is actually an invisible waveform. It's energy. Whether it's a thought that's silent or a word that's louder, or you put an emotion on top of that, which makes it stronger, it's an invisible energetic frequency or waveform. So every time we point out something in the external world, whether it's pedophilia, I'm not saying this stuff isn't wrong or low vibrational or wounds that other people are carrying, but every time we judge it, we're actually attaching an invisible energetic magnet to everything we judge. So guess what's going to show up in our hologram? Guess what's going to be energized in our hologram by us? Those things that we're judging and that we're triggered by. And so somebody said to me on this call, well, Jeff, we have to judge. It's our nature. And I explained to them that there is a difference between a judgment and an observation. An observation is noticing and observing what is happening and what we're perceiving and processing through our six senses, however many senses you want to agree that you have. And a judgment is resistance to that which we're seeing in the external world. So there's nothing wrong with calling something out that's wrong in the external world if we're going to balance our energy to own the fact that we are somehow holding that frequency in order for it to show up, turn into a judgment, and trigger us. This may seem subtle to you. Your ego may not like it, because what this is going to do is, when you begin to accept this, you're going to begin to starve the ego from all of the food and judgments that it feeds on every day. So of course the ego's not going to like it, because it loves to judge. That's why judgment's the biggest addiction on the planet. So the invitation on our journey is to begin to track, become 100% responsible for every time we have a judgment. So how do we catch them? Well, start to notice what a judgment feels like in your body. It's a frequency. It's sticky. It doesn't feel good. It's a trigger. And then take a breath and go, oh, I just got triggered. Or even if you get triggered and you react and you run the story, or you have an emotional outburst at somebody and judge them, when you notice it later, if and when, come back and re-track the process of what happened. What did they say that triggered you? Oh, now I see. I was holding an energetic frequency within from something I was taught when I was younger, or an experience that I went through my parents or my grandparents, or something that happened to me in a relationship. Don't condemn yourself for going back and reviewing it. Give yourself a high five, because many people never go back and review it, and they just feel justified in doing it. Oh, there's a beautiful rainbow here at one of my favorite places. I don't know if you can see it because the sun's in my eyes. So beautiful. So make a commitment to yourself. If you really want to be operating a frequency to attract nothing but magic, miracles, and light frequencies from love, joy, happiness, high vibrational music, plants, animals, then make it a point to start tracking your inner frequency. This is called awakening, whatever you want to call it. It's being in joy, it's living in our heart space, and just being responsible and accountable for the frequencies that we're holding. So when you get triggered, you can't really blame that on somebody else, unless they're physically abusing you in a situation, and of course get the heck out of that situation. But when we're talking about getting triggered by thoughts and seeing things in the external, that's our responsibility. And somebody that's awake and aware is going to accept responsibility and go, oh, I just got triggered. So then we take a breath and we ask, what is this trying to teach me about frequencies that I'm still holding? And then we go into compassion for ourselves, compassion for others. And here's a big piece, because we think that we need to condemn the pedophiles and the people in government that are doing things that are wrong, the human traffickers, the people that are pushing vaccines, poisoning the air, food, water, 5G, you can always come up with something. Again, if we're judging and condemning them, we're giving them energy, and we're attaching an energetic cord from ourselves to them. Let's cut the cords. Give them compassion, bless them, and know that they are playing their role in this dream to awaken humanity. It's not easy to hold all that dark energy, so give them compassion. Compassion and forgiveness are our super tools in healing ourselves and healing the planet and beyond. So I intend you find that valuable. It's some of the most valuable things that I found on my journey over the last 20 years, and they always come up as powerful healing processes and tools in every session I do and with every monthly group I do. So Thank you for everybody that shares this stuff, that comments, that sends their love, and that embodies this and ends up being, you know, accountable for what's showing up in your dream, what we're creating, what we're co-creating. Yeah, it's so beautiful when you begin to see it. Have an incredible day. I love it.